Hello. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. You're hearing the voice of Mrs. Best, and we do have our regular co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel here. Welcome in, James. Welcome in, you guys. The first thing you'll see if you click the description of this video is a link to James's channel. Go ahead and give that a click. There's a lot of shows that I enjoy that we recap on his channel, vice versa, all those good things. Hi, Kevin Reynolds. You are on time, present and accounted for. I hope you're doing well. I think we saw Kevin in the Potomac Live. I think. But welcome in. This episode gave nothing, y'all, but we're here to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills, Hemlines and Headlines, season 14, episode 14. This episode, I'm just letting y'all know this will be a quick live just because nothing really happened. Hi, Danny. What's good to you, my Gemini twin? Welcome in. I'm glad you're doing well. Oh, James said hi too. I talked over him. I'm sorry, James. So sorry. I'm glad you're well, though. It really does matter. I think we should all just check in on each other. We here every week anyway, may as well, right? But we're gonna get into this foolery that was an episode. This definitely felt like a filler because zero happened. So we start this episode with Kyle complaining about Mauricio being caught kissing a lady in Mykonos at the airport. Speaking of which, it's one of my dreams to go to Greece. I don't care how rude or racist they are. I want to go.
Mine too. It is so beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. But he was seen kissing some lady in Greece, and they're trying to allege like this was an arranged photo. Oh, we don't think the paparazzi's following Mauricio and all this crazy stuff. But I like that Kathy Hilton not trying to log onto my computer, damn it. I hope you figure it out, Shanny. I just looked at that. But I'd like to pose this because there's not much to say about this because she didn't want to say nothing about her separation. Now she suddenly has so much to say. And it's kind of for me with Kyle, too little, too late. I really don't care what's going on. Personally, I feel like they're either going to get back together or stay separated without divorce for many years. I don't know why I feel that way, but that's what I think is going to happen to this couple. But Kathy told Kyle, mind your business. It's none of your business. You said you did not want him and asked for a separation. And Kathy is right. This is not your business, Kyle. Now, I'm not saying Kyle doesn't have the right to feel a way. If you see someone you've been with for most of your adult life, kissing, being intimate, lovey-dovey, the way that they were with you with someone else for the first time, that's hard. However, I'd like to remind everybody that this is not the first time that Kyle has seen Mauricio flirt, kiss, party. As soon as the separation happened, he was doing something with the Dancing with the Stars partner. They were allegedly dating and all this stuff. So I'm like, why is it a big deal now that he's been photographed kissing someone when he's been getting photographed on trips and Aspen and all over the world with different women, different bitches, and several photographs with the same one. So I don't understand like what you want from us, Kyle. Are we supposed to feel sorry for you? You asked for this hoe, so I don't know. James, did you feel any type of way about that?
No, I didn't feel any kind of way about that because at the end of the day, I feel like this is what you get, and whatever he does, oh well. You've been playing in our faces with this Morgan lady all this time, and now you want to have a problem because he was seen kissing another woman at the airport? Kyle, go to hell.
Look, thank you. He read her for filth. But yes, that is the truth. Let's get into the comments really fast before we move on. Shandy said, I was in Greece in 2022 and it was crazy, cool, and beautiful. I love that. I got to get there. It seems like the hardest part is the plane ticket, though. Like in general, in California, plane tickets to California or leaving California tend to be more than they would in some other places. But hey, I got to get there. Kevin Reynolds said, I want Kyle to remove us from the group chat as it relates to Mauricio. It's annoying AF. I absolutely agree with that. She has us in the group chat, but you know how when you in group chats, you don't say too much because it's a group chat? That's exactly what's happening. If Kyle decides that she doesn't want to share her life no more, then leave. You can leave in my Meredith voice. That's how I feel. Let's see. Shanny said Mo has been in them streets for years. Seventh layer of hell. I think that's why the separation came about. And that's probably why Kyle is butthurt. Because all we can do is like inference and try to figure out like what happened. But I'm starting to think he probably has been in the streets for years. And now she's had to actually see it versus finding like a text or some heart emojis in the phone. So I don't know. Maybe Kyle should have thought about that. Maybe went and traveled with her husband while he was working instead of being so focused on her newfound fame through this show. They're both at fault in my opinion. But moving on, y'all. Erica's rental has been redecorated. Good job, Erica. I also
Right.
she sold a property that she had in Australia that she bought for like 900K. She sold it for a couple $1,000,000. So good for you, Erica. I don't like the wallpaper. I think it's extra. I don't think palm trees always look right. I feel like something like that would have made sense if the home was like designed in the way that homes in Miami, from what I've seen on television, are designed. I did not feel like that palm tree wallpaper matched. It wasn't ugly, but I just didn't care for it. Her mama's in town. She's not aging the best, but her mama's in town. Um, Erica, I don't care. I don't care. This gives when Mia and Gordon on Potomac remodeled their rental. I I just don't care. James,
I don't understand why we're remodeling rental homes as if they're ours. Why are you painting those people's houses and putting up wallpaper in people's house and stuff like that? Unless you worked out a deal with them where they get to keep the furniture at the end or something. I don't know, but that's weird that people do that. Renovate and remodel and paint in people's actual homes that you're renting from.
I agree. I agree. That's weird because if it's not yours, why not put that money into something you can keep forever?
Shani, the answer to that question is yes. Both her parents were younger than Tom.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't understand why she's decorating the rental still. But I don't know. I don't feel like Erica's giving anything on this show anymore. When Tom was here, she was still the same ice queen, but just one that focused on the wealth. Now that he's gone, she's still the same ice queen and wants to focus on us watching her rebuild her wealth. Erica can go. She can go. I don't. Let me catch this comment too. Don't forget the infamous tabloid episode that Lisa Vanderpump had. Homegirl, bring on the trip. Brandy, that was her name. Brandy? Are you talking about Sheena? Maybe. Brandy. Brandy got cheated on, and that was in the tabloids with someone who was on Vanderpump Rules. I'm gonna assume that's what it is. And yes, it is giving Mia and Gordon their first season. Now Mia and Gordon just lie. That's all they do. Um, moving on, y'all. Sutton claims she's preparing for her fashion show. Oh, I skipped the scene. Kyle and Kathy go to get a mammogram. Kyle's mama died from breast cancer. She didn't get her mammogram. She says she was 5 years late or something like that. So the cancer had progressed to something that was much more serious than if she would have caught it. I only am talking about this because it is important for women to go and get their mammograms, especially women of color, especially Black women of color, because breast cancer tends to be more fatal in us. Look it up if you don't believe me. So I do think it's nice that she shows herself getting a mammogram. However, I don't care if you're removing wife from your IG bio, Kyle, and I don't care if Mauricio removed husband and father from his, because until you guys get a divorce, you're still married to each other. So just because you take some shit off Instagram ain't gonna change what's really going on. But Kyle gets upset at Kathy during this mammogram as well because she's wanting to discuss the woman in the photo. And Kyle claims she doesn't care. Whenever someone has to verbalize and say, I don't care, they do care. I think that probably did hurt her to see him kissing on people. However, we also don't care, Kyle. So I'm going to see if James wants to add anything before I go over the
No, we can
comments.
move on.
Yeah, because I Kyle, it's time for you to go. That's what we can say. Uh, she said, Twit, make sure you get your mammogram every year. I will. I will. I will. I have a doctor that will not allow me to not do those things. When it's time for those things and the pap smear, that lady is on my ass like white on rice, and it's a lot. But that's a good thing. Kevin Reynolds said, little known fact, Erica is still not in the chart and will be soon having to go to trial. To be honest, I have no empathy for that. Ice Queen, hashtag heat myself.
We know
Um,
this. I don't know who she trying to fool on national TV, but yeah. Okay,
yeah,
Erica.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone feels sorry for her. Honestly, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I don't think nobody other than white women feel sorry for her. I just don't. Because what is there to feel sorry for her about? She's okay. Most people get a divorce and don't get to stay in Beverly Hills. She did. Most people get a
Not only
divorce and
that,
they
got to keep her job, got even more
right.
jobs, and was able to get a home, able to get 2 little cars. Like, to me, she's doing much better than, if someone was another ethnicity in her shoes, just saying.
That's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's it. That's absolutely right. We don't feel sorry for you, Erica. And she's back. She even gave her Broadway show back. Now, when these trials find her and Tom guilty of the things that they've basically already been found guilty of, if you look at the receipts, but we have to say alleged as it goes across the bottom of the screen to protect ourselves legally. But I wonder what people will say then. She may not have actively done a bad thing, but she knew and participated in a very bad thing that impacted lots of people. The bitch could come up here and pay my PG&E bill for a year because my PG&E rates are still high because of their mistakes. And to find out that the lawsuits and all of that didn't do nothing, my rates just high for nothing. Hell. So they can go to hell, Erica and them. But Sutton's preparing for a fashion show. This is a sustainable, environmentally friendly, however you want to call it, fashion line that she's created, which I actually think is brilliant. Especially if you're in California, people will eat that shit up. But we learned that Reba, her mama, her flight was canceled. It looks like Reba was a part of that. This happened a few months ago when the airlines could not get it together, computer glitches here and all types of issues. So her mom's flight was canceled. We also learned that Garcelle's son, Jade, one of the twins, the one that's not an asshole, is going to be walking in the fashion show, which I think works out. He's got the hair, he's got the look, he seems motivated. I feel like the other twin is gonna end up like that daddy,
Hmm.
down
Well,
to
the
a
thing about
T.
this twin, the model twin, is he looks like the dad, but he has Garcelle's bone structure. So
He does.
he's definitely going to make it. Definitely.
Now they move on to discuss Garcelle and Sutton. They discuss Mauricio dating other people and getting caught up in the tabloids. Here's the thing. I am a big Garcelle fan. I am a big Sutton fan, but it was almost cringeworthy the way that they were gossiping about this woman's potential pain. Now, I get that Kyle is full of shit. I get that. But they seem low key happy about all this coming out. Probably because Kyle tried to paint things as being perfect and okay for a long time. But it's
Hmm.
kind of like, eh. I do feel like Sutton threw the most shade, the best shade. She said, that woman is probably the same age as his daughter or one of the daughters. What is he doing? He looks stupid. So they definitely have allegiance with Kyle. It's just the way they gossiped about it was like, eh. But they didn't tell one lie, is what I'll say. James, how'd you feel about their little discussion?
Honestly, I didn't feel a way about it just because Kyle do be playing in people's faces a lot. So it
Mm-hmm.
leaves room for these conversations to always happen because she's never going to be honest about those situations. So I actually didn't mind it.
Mm.
Um, Shani had a question about the clothing line. What is so special about it?
I'm gonna
Some
go over
familiar.
the comments after you give your opinion.
Oh, I was done. Sorry, I was
Oh,
reading.
you were done. I was like,
No,
okay,
because
what
she
you
mentioned
doing?
the clothing line and she had a question about the clothing line. So that's why I was like, oh.
Let me see. Yes, Tom has been sentenced to not guilty, and that is not alleged, or to guilty, and that is not alleged. Yes, in one of probably hundreds of cases.
I was gonna say that was one trial. He has, I think, a whole bunch to go. I forgot the number already.
It's a lot. It's a lot of. It's definitely a lot. Shani said, I don't get the clothing line. What is special about it? And I am a Sutton fan. The clothing line is sustainable and environmentally friendly. So it's not made with things that would hurt the planet or the earth. Think of it as the solar panels of clothing. That's what I'll say there. But that's really all that makes it special. And I'm interested in the
Well,
price
also it
because
gives those designers like money too, which I thought like a lot of people will skip over. Like the designers of the original clothing, they may get a kickback from that, from her putting her name on that. So that's what I would thought too.
they likely will, because she didn't say that she herself, it sounds like she's the one funding it and creating it, but there's definitely people involved helping her design the clothing. I'm just curious to see how it holds up, because when I think of sustainable things that they try to come out with here in America, I think of them damn paper straws that suck, and it stresses me out. And I'm like, last thing you want is your clothing for it rain and then all the color or something come out of it. So I'm curious to see how she does that. But I'm sure James will check the price. One thing James is good for is looking up the cost, the order process, and all of that for these people on these shows, which I actually think is a good thing to do.
James ain't doing that because I can't afford it no way. So yeah, listen. No, I'm just kidding. I will look it up when she does launch. She still hasn't launched it yet, from what I saw. So
That could be a good sign, because when you take your time, things go better. Giselle
hmm
and Ashley, they irritated me with that. Now they're trying to make it seem like there's some sort of nonprofit. They irritate me. Shani said, I think that of that other twin is a little asshole. The one that told her that he didn't need her to parent him, then pay your own bills. Listen,
let me tell you, the best thing she could have done is allow him not to film anymore. That was the best decision ever.
I would have done that and sent him to live with his daddy, since it's so fucking great over there and you feel like you get more parenting, than go on over there. Go. Go do that. I don't understand why not. When my little brother was acting up, my parents were not speaking at the time. They are divorced. My mama must have sent him to my daddy so fast. She said, go. And he came right back. Right back. Hi, DM Rocks. Welcome in. That model pushing Kathy was funny. What the hell did we gonna get into that? Because I probably have opinions on what Kathy did that are different from everybody else. But we gonna get into that. Bose did an interview basically trashing Sutton and being Dorit's lapdog. That's what Bose is doing. I'm not surprised.
I'm not
I'm
either.
not.
She just
I'm not.
she was a huge disappointment to me. Huge disappointment. Next episode, y'all will get more from my opinion of Bose now. But just let you know, her and 8.5 are in the same category now.
Yeah, as Garcelle said on her IG, not all skin folk, not all Kim folk or skin folk, or however the term goes. Bose, I think Bose probably feels away because she got too close to Dorit. Now nobody else want to deal with her. That's on her. But we gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. We are gonna see. Kevin Reynolds commented, I agree with James as it relates to Kyle being talked about by Garcelle and Sutton. If it was the other way around, Kyle would too easily speak on it starkly. I'm just saying. That is true. That is very true. I just wish they didn't do it, because they already deal with a lot from the audience watching this show. But I Kyle definitely did deserve it. That's the truth. I wish my son would have told me that grown up. Okay, peace out. You know where your pops is. Yes, the other twin is an asshole, sarcastic brat. I'm here for the hashtags. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, oh Lord, Erica and her mama talk about her overcoming Tom Girardi. You have not overcome shit, lady. That man is still in court and got 5,763 times 14 trials left. What have you
What's crazy to me
overcome?
is that she acts like she's done with this man as if the judge signed the divorce decree and it's filed at the county's office. Man, that is still your husband. You ain't done with nothing.
Thank you, James.
Like she gets on my nerves. Like I get being optimistic about your future and ready to move on from this situation, which I hope that for her. But at the end of the day, speak of where you are currently today, which is
Preach.
today you are still Mrs. Girardi. And probably it's going to be the widow Girardi, depending on if a judge ever lets you out this divorce, because I don't see a judge doing that until this all these trials are done. I just don't see it.
Hmm. And it's very rare in California for a judge to like not grant a divorce. We're a pretty lax state and we're very liberal in that area. So for a judge to say that, especially to some people with some money, they something gonna happen. Something is going to happen. But she telling her mama about this same stuff. Nobody feels bad for you. We don't care. Move on and discuss other things or give us something. Because outside of this scandal and out now that she's not married, Erica's really not that interesting separate from that. So I don't know. We'll see. Let me catch the comments before we move on. I confirmed a few weeks ago that while watching the after show, my disdain towards Bose had one good interview with Breakfast Club, and then ever since then, she's just been like falling, sinking fast. So, I get that
And
Bose
yeah,
likely does, huh?
I agree.
That was her one good interview, and yeah. But I mean, you can't trust nobody who choose to wear wigs that big. I'm just saying. You can't. I heard that fans are thinking Garcelle wants to be the only Black woman on the show. Half of the fans are racist that dislike
I was
Garcelle from
just
what
gonna
I be
say.
seeing. In
I
my
was just about to say
opinion,
that you took the words right out of my mouth, like, because these fans are racist and didn't want a
that's
black lady on this show to begin with. But now that
yep.
they got two on the show, they're now trying to pit them against each other. And that's why I'm disappointed in Bose specifically because you said in the Breakfast Club interview that that would not happen, but yet and still you're letting one of the white women on the show put that wedge between you by trying to say that she's deflecting and doing the same thing with Sutton. Like it's just so crazy that you fell for that bait.
The
It's
fans
crazy.
of this franchise, Salt Lake City, um, the old Brony, the OG Brony, and Orange County, in my opinion, the audience the majority does seem to be prejudiced or racist in some way, especially if you pay attention to the comments. Because why is someone so freaking pressed about this woman mentioning that she feels like Dorit makes microaggressions, doesn't have Black friends? Garcelle ain't said nothing that was a lie. And it's interesting that people have a problem with that. You cannot tell someone that they're playing the race card. No one's going to just play the race card for the most part. I know some do, but no one's just going to play it to play it. What does she get out of gaining that? She's so I can't stand these fans sometimes. Bose is killing me with them coming to America wigs. It's a lot. That's the best way to describe it too.
It
That's a
sure is, Shani. That was a good one because I'm telling you, it's like it's so much hair and it looks heavy. It
mm-hmm.
looks uncomfortable. And then on top of that, it's like, ma'am, just remove 3 to 4 bundles out of each wig and it will be okay. But
Please.
she always had big hair. I showed y'all that old ass picture of her. She's always had big hair. So I'm like, okay, maybe she just loves hair.
Oh yeah, y'all go to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews collabs playlist on my channel and watch his updates video from a couple months ago. That picture he brought of her was terrible. She had that hair. It was
When I
so,
tell you it looked like the basket of burnt curly fries on her head,
I'd be
yes.
so mad if someone gave me a basket of burnt curly fries. By the way, this is
Me too. That's why I said that.
Kevin Riddle saw the Breakfast Club interview. Hello, Shonique. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you are having, what day is it, y'all? Oh, shit. What day is it? Happy Hump Day.
Don't
There we
ask me
go.
because I don't never know what day it is until they tell me, okay, we're not here tomorrow at my job.
Then you're like, oh, I've made it. End
Right.
of the week. Lord. We shouldn't be celebrating victories when we make it through a work week, but these are the cards we've been dealt. Housewives of Salt Lake City is incredibly racist, hence she who will not be said on my channel.
Right.
That's my beef with Salt Lake City and why I honestly wasn't watching it like that and stopped watching after that foolery with Jenny Nguyen because she came on as a genuine friend of to them people. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that. She said, I got my drink. Enjoy, enjoy. I love Orange County Housewives. Shannon and Heather are my favorite. They're interesting. Their audience is racist as hell, but they are interesting. The housewives themselves, they don't seem to be on Orange County, but ooh wee. I considered covering Orange County, but then I was like, nah. Some shows I just
They're
want to
not
watch.
interesting enough for me. They're not
Yeah,
interesting enough for me. It's giving very much like calendar girls, like Stepford wives, like wannabes, and I just don't have the bandwidth to deal with them.
they're the OGs, and the reason why all these other franchises exist, but they do be extremely. I think their level of what they view as drama is much different. Honestly, Salt Lake City was trashed the same way that Orange County can be boring until they got um what the hell is her name? Who's pregnant again? Monica.
Yeah,
Until they got Monica, I was like, OC is milquetoast. Bland. I met Shannon before. She is nice and had me laughing. Never got into OC. I feel like Orange County Housewives, like, if you were like someone who was really into Bravo back in the day, you might get into it because I used to watch it faithfully and then I stopped around like season 5. I just stopped. Um, Jenny Nguyen came on by Lisa Barlow. Let me start with her. She is that Karen to the fifth power. Yeah, people keep acting like Lisa's God's gift to housewives, and Lisa don't even do shit. And when called out, she cries and runs away. She can't even hold her own in an argument or a tit for tat. Nothing. Um, but yeah, we gonna keep it moving, y'all, to discuss Garcelle and Dorit meeting up, which was really, really weird. Do I like Vicky? Okay, here's the thing. Vicky, if you go and watch season 1, Vicky is the reason that Orange County kept going and was interesting in some way. My problem with Vicky is she's not the most accountable, and in my opinion, will lean heavily into being a victim. So I'm up and down with Vicky, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't mind her in confessionals. I don't mind her in reunions, but she does too much in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. Vicky's a little much. It's like a seesaw. We up and down, back and forth. Um, Garcelle and Dorit are meeting up, which is odd because it's clear these two don't like each other. They ain't gonna be cool, and they don't have to be cool. The moment Dorit said her only black friend was somebody who worked for her in her house, I believe it was the maid or the nanny, I was done with Dorit. Because how do you not have one black friend and you live in a pretty diverse area? I don't understand that, rich or not. So, okay, Dorit. But they discuss Kyle, and they say that if Kyle does not want attention, and Dorit said this, if Kyle doesn't want the attention, then why does she keep doing things that publicly, like kissing Morgan, doing music videos, holding her hand? Why does Kyle do what she knows is going to make people think is her dating when she's not doing that? It doesn't make any sense. Now she wants to be silent because it has to do with Mauricio. Irks my soul. But they do move on to discuss Sutton. And this is where Dorit is saying that Sutton is mean. And Dorit mentions the caviar event that happened in the previous episode. And Dorit is really, really offended at Sutton's behavior. I know a lot of people didn't like what Sutton did, but Dorit needed that shit. That's exactly what Dorit needs, because people have been sick of Dorit season after season. And I guarantee if Garcelle would have came for her in a different way, then people would have been like, oh, Garcelle's bullying Dorit. Even though Dorit is the biggest bully, and in my opinion, the most, I'm a hide in your face like I'm not racist person. It's so interesting that you make friends with someone who is of color after you've been exposed for your negative microaggressions at that reunion. Now suddenly you're able to make friends with black people. So I still don't trust Dorit worth a damn. But I can understand why the comment from Sutton was hurtful. But Dorit, you came down hard on Erica when she was going through something, even though she deserved it. You came down on her. Dorit, you came down on LVP when she was going through something. You came at Teddy when she was going through something. You came at Lisa Rinna when she was going through something. You almost damn near led the charge with Denise Richards when she was going through something. So now that Dorit is going through something, she wants everyone to empathize and feel sorry for her and be kind, when the bitch ain't been kind and graceful with anybody else. So no, Dorit, you're probably not going to get an apology from Sutton, especially when you don't apologize for calling her an alcoholic, and then the very next season insinuating that she's an alcoholic again. Then you play coy and dumb like you don't know what the hell going on. Dorit irked me with that. And I was glad that Garcelle told her, like, you have been acting like a raging bitch. Like, you have been tripping. And she just did not know what to say to that. But Garcelle, I do appreciate her for not defending the comment and explaining what Sutton said was mean. But Sutton ain't tell one lie, because as quiet as it's kept, Dorit does not belong on a cast because her income bracket does not match the rest of these women, not with or without PK. So in my opinion, Dorit can go. She can go. Shonique said Kyle definitely wants attention. James, this is James's gospel. She does. She does. She absolutely does. Yes, Dorit, poor Reed is the ultimate worst kind of Karen. She is. She is. And Dorit and Kyle are one and the same. Dorit does things hoping that it'll make her look better. DM Rock said, I'm sorry to say, give Bose and Dorit their pink slips. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm kind of over Bose. We don't need Dorit having a lapdog. They can demote Bose to a friend of, and we'll see how real that friendship is. I would love to see it. But how'd you feel, James, about their little conversation, Garcelle and Doris?
One thing that irritates me is I hate when people start a story in the middle instead of going all the way back to the beginning of how this really started. And Sutton's validation for me is when she walked into your house and you were nowhere to be found, and she sat there and waited for you patiently, and then you come into her face trying to take her purse, being rude, and then trying to insinuate at your house that she was trying to drink and stuff because Garcelle asked her if there was alcohol in it, trying to be funny. And so you now get mad. So you can call her an alcoholic and a drunk on the slide, but she can't call you broke using the same analogy. Okay, Dorit. Okay. Okay.
And you are broke. It's public fucking knowledge that she is. And nothing's wrong with not having a lot of money. Nothing's wrong with being poor or becoming poor REIT. Nothing is wrong with that. If she'd lean into her new financial struggles instead of trying to hide it and wear vintage Chanel, I think she could in some ways redeem herself with some people, but instead she insists on still kind of keeping things a certain way. But that man still owes the Bellagio their money, and I'm sure they want it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Still owes that. So we will see. Let me catch this comment. Kyle is an unabashed Karen, and it's nuts because she has absolutely no self-awareness of the double standard she holds. In her world, she can do things that others can't, but she doesn't even see it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You know, it's sad is Kyle's, well, I guess her ex-bestie Dorit did not grow up rich and privileged and all these crazy things, and she can see it and still acts that way, and that to me is worse. But Kyle is also pretty vile. Can't stand Kyle. I really just like Kyle's that person. I would trip her when she walking by and act like I didn't do it. Can't stand her. Remember that lady was chasing Dorit in the Bahamas? Season 9. Yes. Sometimes I watch the old seasons just for fun because there don't be nothing on TV, and Netflix like to make the same show in several different ways. But yes. um, we go move on to Sutton prepping for her fashion show. One of Garcelle's kids, Jade, he's walking in the show. Reba's not going to make it due to her flights, but she did make a genuine effort to be there. One flight was canceled. Then she was in the airport again for 13 hours or something. That's a lot for an 80-plus-year-old person. So I'm glad to see that Reba received the message from Garcelle and Sutton and is doing a little bit better. And I hope that they keep things in that way. But I also feel like Sutton has to get to a point of being an adult where you may not always get the I'm proud of you. And I know we want that, but you may not always receive that. But I'm glad to see them doing better. But we get to the fashion show and I see Sheena from Vanderpump Rules. I am patiently waiting on the Valley because Sheena and Lala are supposed to be going on the Valley, which makes sense because they both have children. And it seems like the Valley was the show for people from Vanderpump Rules who had kids. So I think that that would be a good fit. But I'm like, why is Sheena at this event? That don't even make sense. Very strange. But Kyle tells Dorit that when discussing Mauricio before the fashion show starts. She's telling Dorit how she believes that the woman that Mauricio was photographed kissing is the one who set up the paparazzi to be there. Whatever, Kyle, anything to avoid the fact that this man does not want you, has not wanted you in a while, and has moved the fuck on because you want him to sit in limbo while you run off with country music stars. We don't care anymore, Kyle. We don't care. Even if the picture was arranged or set up, he kissed her. So move on. I don't understand it. Hi, bitch, they went in. Welcome in. Welcome in. You didn't watch the episode yet? That's okay. I appreciate you for being here. You always bring a smile, so thank you kindly. Kathy Hilton walks backstage right before this fashion show starts because she got it in her thick ass head that Dorit should be the one to narrate and announce the fashions, which doesn't generally happen at a fashion show. One. Two, her reason for this is because Dorit's really into fashion. Okay. Great for Dorit. She's really into fashion. I felt like Erica back in the day when she was with when we first got Erica Girardi. I feel like she gave us more fashion than Dorit, personally. But okay, that's fine, Kathy. So Kathy goes and asks Sutton, and Sutton's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they end up starting the show when she's done talking to Sutton. They start the show, and Kathy, for some reason, is looking at the Sutton light with her little symbol. She looked at it light up, touched it. I was like, what is Kathy doing? Then she hobbles over because she was talking about she hurt her knee. She said, I think I broke my knee earlier in the episode. I said, Kathy, if you broke your fucking knee, you wouldn't be able to walk. But she's limping and hobbling over. And for some reason, she stops to speak to someone. She's shaking her hand. She's the hey girl moment. And the fashion show starts, and that model sure did push Kathy out the way. They are hollering, interrupted that fashion show. And Kathy sits down and she just laughs. Now, we do see the clothes, and we have to remember these clothes, they did look very regular. I feel like maybe they'll be affordable or something because the clothes weren't all of that. Jennifer Tilly was very strange walking down the runway, or poolway, whatever the hell we want to call it. But Kathy, you know, if somebody did that at your event, you'd have a problem. This is what I mean by these ladies be playing with Sutton in certain ways. Y'all are hollering at this woman's event. Could someone have hollered for security to move her ass out the way? I don't understand. I don't understand. Now, James is like, I wish to be so rich that people move around me. But at the same time, for me, I was kind of like, bitch, this is my first fashion show. Get the hell out the way and sit down. I don't understand it. But it was funny. It was funny. It was funny. But I felt like Kathy was being intentional and knew what the hell she was doing by standing there. Because
Oh,
how do you not
absolutely.
understand when a fashion show is starting?
Absolutely. Make no mistake. Like Kevin Reynolds just said, that's the real Kathy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all move around her. She doesn't move around people. Kathy knew what she was doing. Kathy knew what
Mm-hmm.
she was doing, just like she went on the back yelling Sutton's name. Sutton. Like when she was walking in the back. Now, Sutton, now you should have to redo this now because she knows what she's doing, knowing damn well she's been to a fashion show before and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that that's not what happens. She was being messy, which I was here for it, but she was being messy. And then she's like, okay, well, Sutton, I'm just going to make an ass of myself. And you know what? I'm so rich, I don't even care. So, I'm just saying.
That pissed me off because I'm kind of like, personally, I was watching it. Everyone's like, "Oh, Kathy's so funny, ha ha ha!" And I was like, "That's not funny."
It's not
She
funny.
expressed that this is important to her. One, this is her first fashion show. Two, it's a new business that she's trying to get off the ground. Three, knowing Sutton, she probably spent her own money to do this event. Four, and you think that that's funny? I would have put her out. I don't like
It
how this
reminded
cast
me. Oh, I'm sorry, friend.
I don't like how this cast be acting like Kathy can just get away with murder because of her money when really it's her husband's money, as quiet as it's kept. But
Hmm.
I don't like that part. But go
It,
ahead.
it reminded me of when she got Tiffany Haddish to do that same shit where Tiffany, remember I had did like an unpopular opinion and everybody
Yeah.
was kind of like, that wasn't really a big deal. I said, no, that was a huge deal. Y'all don't understand. See, it's cool and it's funny when Kathy does it, but when getting somebody like Tiffany Haddish, that could have had serious repercussions. Like, luckily it didn't. because she didn't need nothing else on her name. But that stuff, does not fly with regular people. So it does piss me off in a way where it's like, that's why I said I want to be that rich, where I want people to move around me. And I wish that model would have just pushed her a little bit harder so she could have found whoever it is she was shaking that hand of.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
it's Tiffany Haddish got herself canceled. She looked stupid prior, but yeah, Tiffany, don't
We'll
just
see.
agree to what white people tell you to do. You should
Right.
know that with your status. Um, Let me get through the comments. Let that have been Kathy's fashion show. She would have been pissed. Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. They came back out screaming. She said, "No, thank you." I would love to see Kathy against Reba. I feel like Reba would have told her something. Because I'll be damned if I watch my child get disrespected like that.
No, Reba would have got up and grabbed her and
Move her.
sat her down. I already can see it now.
Fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. It really looked like regular clothes that you would find in like Uniqlo or Lululemon or just a regular ass store. But they're sustainable. Sutton, you better figure that out. I'm curious. I'm curious. Oh Lord. Speaking of Tiffany Haddish, she sucks. She does. She said some awful things publicly. And yeah. Tiffany Haddish, she'll make a fool of herself one way or the other. And it's a shame because she's actually talented, but even if I am that rich, I would still be like Kathy. You you would be like Kathy? Interrupting shows? I hope not. Oh, I would not be. Okay, I was like, what? I don't think that's what she meant. Yeah, I think a lot of people get money and it goes to their head. We're going to discuss that further on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta after this live, but definitely think it goes to their head. I don't I don't like how Kathy Hilton moves, but hey, that's what it is. But y'all, this episode didn't give nothing, and that's it. Unless there's something James wants to add, that is it for this live.
No, we can move on to the foolishness that is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
God, it's Wednesdays be hard for me because these shows be a lot. Usually Beverly Hills is okay. I'm curious to see what'll happen next week. I think the reunion's filmed or being filmed. Something's happening with the
It
reunion,
just
but
got filmed over this last weekend. So,
we
yep,
shall
I will be
see.
talking about the fashions and we're going to address Garcelle's comment because we knew it was for Bose. So, I
I
cannot
don't think
wait.
the comment was entirely for Bose, but it might have been if the reunion film. That would definitely make sense.
That's when, yeah, it was the day after the reunion filmed.
Oh yeah, then it probably was. I know people were like it's 8.5 she was talking about, but if the reunion filmed, likely. Kev-
8.5, y'all. 8.5 was not a factor. She was not talking about her.
yeah, I don't see why they would even bring her up. But Tiffany Haddish was only funny in Girls Trip. She is so typecasted. The ghetto girl persona is not it. And you know what? She is typecasted like heavy. Because even if you go back to before Tiffany Haddish got popular, she did the same thing. She was in that a Tyler Perry show. I can't think of which one right now, but she was in a Tyler Perry show for some time, and same thing, same character, same thing. Shetty, she said all kin folk ain't skin folk or skin, however the term goes. That is what Garcelle has said after filming the reunion. But you guys, we're gonna end this live. We're gonna head on over to Love. I was about to say Love After Lockup. Lord, I'm not even covering that right now. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We're going to go over, you guys. So tune into that. I appreciate everybody for watching who's here now. I also appreciate those who watch us when we are no longer live. Shout out to the replay gang. But I offer you all a happiest of Wednesdays. I hope that everybody has good energy, good vibes, and enjoys the rest of their week. And we will see y'all next week to discuss this show again. Thank you, James, and adios.